spoken to a couple of former Chancellors. Time now, I beg your pardon, spoken of a couple of former Chancellors. Time now for a shadow Chancellor. John McDonnell is on the line. Are you weeping into your sandwiches this lunchtime, John?
I'm as shocked as you are, actually. I didn't expect this. I don't think anybody did. We only had Treasury questions a couple of days ago where I was firing questions at the Chancellor, and literally, at that point, I have to say he looked a bit anxious about things, but I didn't think it was about the reshuffle. I thought he was secure. I really did. But
he was told he was secure, but it seems to be as we understand it, I don't know what you're hearing, that he was told he can keep the job. He just has to wave goodbye to all of his advisors. Yeah,
but it looks as I raised it in Treasury questions. I've done this for a while. He's had this battle with Dominic Cummings literally over months, particularly since the general election. And this is about Dominic Cummings as a number 10's control of the Treasury. So the best way of getting control is having someone there who'll just do as they're told. But also, well, you know the tactic, you surround them with your own advisors, so they're boxed in then. And to give the the former Chancellor now his due, he said, I'm not going to have that. And I can understand that. Which self-respecting person would want to be seen to be a stooge of the Prime Minister's advisor?
Well, you're throwing some shade at Rishi Sunak there, John McDonnell. I'm sure it's not by accident.
Well, I've worked on the basis of the rumours that and I estimated this, is that they would leave the Sajid Javid in place for at least about 12, 18 months, see how he performs, but they'd keep Rishi Sunak in as Chief Secretary to be his minder and also to be the eyes and ears of the Prime Minister within the Treasury itself. More, actually, the eyes and ears of Dominic Cummings, who seems to be running the show at the moment.
Is this true? I mean, you're closer to the action than I am, and it's always tempting for journalists to find a bogeyman or a villain of the piece. But do you, with your record and your history in Parliament, watching governments, do you do see Dominic Cummings as exerting an unprecedented influence over proceedings?
What happens, and you've seen it over time, it isn't just this government, it's happened in past governments, including Labour governments, where you do get a strong official, an advisor, who dominates the scene. And it's like a courtier exercising the power of the king or the queen. And they've become almost more powerful than senior ministers because they've got the ear of the Prime Minister, but in addition to that, they will do often some of the dirty work for the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister can walk away with relatively clean hands. Dominic Cummings has been a problem for a large number of ministers, and you're seeing people go today, which I'm a bit surprised at. Some Northern Ireland secretary has gone after actually doing a blinking good job in the most difficult circumstances. When he was Chief Whip, I had a few run-ins with him in the Brexit negotiations. We always got on reasonably well, nevertheless. But when he went to Ireland, I saw him 2 weeks ago and congratulated him on the job he'd done. I'm amazed you lose people like you get rid of people like that, competent people, and you replace some, and that's what Rishi Sunak is. Whatever his merits, he's relatively inexperienced. A budget's coming up. What does that mean? It means actually number 10 can have more control than they would in the past.
He's run a few hedge funds, I think.
Yeah, well, again, that's the other thing. See, at least it's trying to give him his due. I know he played a lot on his background in terms of son of a bus driver, etc. And he used to rib me about that because my dad was as well. But at least he had that sort of background. Again, what's happened now is Dominic Cummings has installed Rishi Sunak, extremely wealthy family. And part of the problem with this government, I think, will be that they don't know how life is lived by most people. And I think, again, at least I'd had a bit of understanding of that, and I complimented him at different times for that. But I think that's gone now. It's quite remarkable, really. So
just to conclude and to clarify, you said that you can't imagine any self-respecting person working in the circumstances that Sajid Javid was apparently asked to. You're essentially calling Rishi Sunak someone who's not a self-respecting person.
I'm saying I think he's a stooge. I think he is. I think he's been placed there because he will be controlled by number 10 and Dominic Cummings in particular.
What if Dominic Cummings is a genius? Then none of this really matters, does it? If he is a genius and he is in charge and he is a control freak and he is exerting unprecedented power, but he's actually rather good at his job, then why should my listeners be worried?
I don't think he is. That's the first thing. I think he's erratic. I think some of the decisions that we've seen coming out of government display that. And I also think, actually, you should not give that amount of power to an unelected official.
Not even if it's Seamus Milne?
No, nobody.
John McDonnell, many thanks indeed.